We're at the Finance Committee meeting for Central Parish at the Parish Courthouse in Gonzales. Call to order the invocation and pledge, Mr. OJ.
Bow our head. Dear Lord, bless this great nation, bless this great state, bless this great parish, and bless all the members on this panel to do the right thing for our community. And most of all, the Lord bless the Armed Forces Service members who give us the freedom and protect us. Amen.
Amen. To the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, Mr. Malonsaw is going to be absent tonight, and Mr. Arsenault is going to be a few minutes late, and I don't know where the other two are. Mr. Turner and Mr. Robert. There's no chair additions to the agenda. Public comment. Anyone that would wishing to speak on an item should sign in on one of the red or green forms and turn it into the secretary now. I don't see anybody here. All right, 5A, approval to proceed with the introduction of ordinance to purchase sugarcane crop stubble located on 47.663 acres on land owned by Priceco West LLC for the price of $148,890.63.
So move.
Motion by Mr. Oliver, second by Mr. Cullen. Just went blank. Any questions or comments? Send to council. Approval to proceed with the introduction of ordinance to accept a donation of parcel of immovable property being 59.052 acres, more or less, described as tracts AP3, AP4, and AP5, being a portion of Arlington Plantation property at no cost to the donor.
Motion.
Motion, Mr. Oliver, second, Mr. Varnado. Any questions or comments? Send to council. And Mr. Robert is present. Approval of amendment number 2 to the Claims Administration Service Agreement with Louisiana Claims Administrators for claims management administration to add an additional $5,000 to cover overages as any additional fees provided for in Exhibit A of the contract. The new not to exceed amount is $81,300. Motion, Mr. Dennis, second, Mr. Varnado. Any questions or comments? Sent to council. Approval of a resolution for Parish President Clint Whitmore to negotiate for a time period of 36 months with Louisiana Department of Health and Hospitals. Yeah.
Yes, this is for the agreement, the contract that we have with the Department of Health for our Women's, Infant, and Children Nutrition Program that we offer in the health unit.
So this is all that contains?
Yes, it's one of the requirements of any state contract is to have a board ordinance that says he's able to sign, and so this is the request for that. It's a 3-year contract.
But
And they
that's-
pay us, we don't pay them.
But the only thing that's going to entail is the WIC,
Yes.
nothing else. Okay. It just said in the packet there was no information on it. Any other questions? Mr. Robert? Where you at?
Yeah,
Oh, they doing it automatically.
I just wanted to specify that in the language of this, that it's for the specific health unit, women's, children's program. Y'all good with that?
I didn't hear what you said at first.
I said I want to specify that in the language
Yes,
of this, so it's specifically for that program.
yes.
And with that, we'd like some type of reporting or something, quarterly at least.
We
Semi-annual
provide
somehow.
them with a monthly invoice that shows the number of individuals that come in, and then they pay us per individuals. In
So maybe
addition-
quarterly, if you could just have that to us here, and any negotiations, if need be, we can do that in executive session, just so we stay abrupt on the situation. That'd be great. If not, then, I mean, it is what it is, but How do we do that with the language to put that in there?
Make an amendment?
You want to make an amendment, you said?
You asked the question, I'm just telling you how you do it.
Just to change,
I'm trying, right? I'm new here.
So I think the common misconception, and I was confused too, and we were the ones that requested the information. What we would ask, I know this is something that was done last time, 3 years ago, so this council's not familiar with how this is done, specifically the new ones like myself, and so that's why I requested information along with Tia about this, just to know what it is and what we're approving here. We understand it's a resolution, but we need the information to look at this stuff. Some of these contracts might be rolling from the last administration, well, I meant from the last council, but, you know, the new ones don't know what these details are, so that's all I'll ask, and you
and my-
provided it, so
My
thank you.
understanding is that this is just the resolution that the state requires to even put through their legal process to get the contract approved, but then the contract will come back to us, and it will have to come back before you again so that you can see the specifics of it. And then you'll see that, you know, and that has the rates and,
Well,
you know, all the
for the
information.
original agenda, yeah.
Yeah, like this
And I
agenda
mean,
was nothing.
Again, we have no problem with it, but the agenda didn't have any kind of much of language or anything like that telling us other than it's a resolution. I don't know anything other than it was a resolution. What is he negotiating and that kind of thing? I mean, other than that, I didn't know nothing beyond requesting the information. We should have had that in the packet, but I thank you.
And I understand the resolution, but still in the same sense, I'd like to make that, I will make the amended motion, to specify that the negotiation power given to the president is for the specific THH program at the health unit for women and children, or women and children? Is that
Women,
correct?
infant, and children, WIC is the
Yeah,
common.
WIC.
Okay, women,
Acronym.
infant, children. I didn't realize it was women. Did you get that? Okay,
got
and I
it.
can get a second.
That's your
So-
amendment?
That's my amendment.
I second that amendment.
all right, Mr. Oliver's, Mr. Joel with the amendment, and then Mr. Oliver with the second. Any questions? Comments?
I think we got to vote on it in the original, if I'm not mistaken.
So we need a vote on that first, right? All right.
The amended motion.
Motion for the amendment?
Mr. Oliver, motion,
Second.
second? So that's it.
And I think we
All right.
got to vote on the original.
Yeah, then adding it to the original.
We got to vote
So,
on the original.
so we need another motion with amended agenda item. Mr. Robert? Is there,
Question,
Of it-
This
this
is the
is
actual
for-
resolution going through. The first one was for the amendment for the resolution, correct?
yes.
Okay,
So is there a second?
second.
All right, second, Mr. Oliver. Any questions or comments?
Yeah, we don't mind doing all the work down here.
All right, you brought it.
Y'all keep it up. We got the big money over there.
All right, sent to council. Approval of juvenile and youthful offender housing agreement with the Jackson Parish Sheriff's Department. This agreement is for housing and transportation of juvenile or youthful offenders per the fee schedule. Ascension Parish government will be responsible for all medical and pharmaceutical costs of the incarcerated juvenile as per the agreement. Motion, Mr. Blaine, second, Mr. Todd. Any questions or comments? Sent to council. Approval to proceed with an introduction of ordinance declaring surplus and authorization of the sale and/or transfer of miscellaneous movable equipment. Motion, Mr. Oliver, second, Mr. Blaine. Any questions or comments? Sent to council. Approval to proceed with the introduction of ordinance accepting donation of two 2018 Dodge Ram trucks, VIN number 3C63R2 6CL0JG291981, odometer rating 66,199, value is $30,000, and VIN number 3C63R2CL1JG304804, odometer reading 77,798, and the value is $30,000 to Ascension Parish government to be used by Ascension Parish Fire Protection District Number 1.
I'll make the motion for Chief has to walk all the way down.
Who did it? Dennis was the motion?
Was the original motion.
And then who was the second? All right, second by Ms. T. Any questions or comment? All right, send to council. Approval to enter into a contract agreement with the lowest responsive bid received from Dale Con LLC for the project Ascension Parish Governmental Complex renovations in the amount of $240,000.
Motion.
Motion, Mr. Blaine. Second, Mr. Arsenault, and we got a question by Mr. Varnado.
Is this part of the 800,000 that is budgeted in,
Analytics or whatever?
yeah, I think it's analytics. Is this a
Data
portion of that
analytics?
budget?
No.
No? Okay, that's my only question. Thank you.
This is what this is for, though? For that,
I'm sorry?
is this gonna be for the room stored, or?
Yes, sir. It's for office space. It's in the building next door. Several areas that we've got, several departments are growing. We just need to utilize the space a little bit better. So this is the same kind of glass walls that you've seen in the administration department. That's what we're talking about putting in different areas.
And this is going in the break room?
Is what?
This gonna be part of the break room?
No, the break room where that's coming into is the GIS department, the SCADA program that they
So
have.
this is
They're
different than that.
growing, and that's gonna take over that break room area.
But this is not that, though.
This is part of it. This is part of transforming that into
So nobody's gonna have a break room no more?
we're gonna have another break room. We have another one that people will use.
Okay, I've never seen that.
There's two of them.
All right. Is there any other more questions? We did get a motion on that one, yeah. All right, that'd be sent to council. Thank you. Approval of change order number 1 to the contract with Bayou Irrigation, Inc. for Ascension Parish Courthouse Green Infrastructure Improvements Project. This change order will add 90 days to the contract term and increase the contract amount by $88,715.52 for a new contract amount not to exceed $877,715.52. Motion by Mr. Varnado. Second by Mr. Cullen. Any questions or comments? That'd be sent to council. Approval to proceed with introduction of ordinance to acquire a parcel of immovable property being 5 4/4 acres located in section 22-9-3 east of the Mississippi River, Ascension Parish, Louisiana, for the price of $450,000 or the appraised value, whichever is lesser, plus the cost of closing. Question?
Is this is for one of the ponds too, or?
No, sir. I've got a little diagram, Jerry, if you want to bring it up. We kind of show y'all what we're trying to do or what the possibilities here could be. So this is the existing Church Point location, DPW East. You house drainage, vegetation management, pavement management, equipment management, all in this facility right here. As you'll see, the top left, you see the recycling center. So traffic's coming in and out of that site right there off of Church Point Road to accommodate those services, Monday through Thursday and Saturdays 9 to 1. So during normal operations of all the vehicles and yard logistics, you have public coming in and out of that site as well. Then you'll see the entrance and exits of Public Works employees coming in and out of Church Point as well. We also have a fueling station to the east portion of the property there. So you have a lot of traffic really going on Church Point Road. We do have an emergency exit down to the south on Preston Landry, but there's a lot of residential out that way. So in this slide, you see the acreage of 5.04 to the north. That property coincidentally came up for sale, and we saw the location would be a potential to add on. You guys recently approved the smaller lot right next to the 5.04 near Church Point, and we did that for the logistics and parking. So when we saw this lot come up available, we looked into that, and then the possibility, you'll see it in the next item, kind of get a little ahead of y'all here, but I figured for logistics purposes, for everybody to understand what we're trying to do, the 2.01 acres coming up the next item. So the idea is we would be able to look at the growth possibilities, a 10, 20-year plan. All right, I'm good, I'm done.
I guess
But
that's a
anyway,
good
I mean,
sign.
So, you get the idea that we're gonna be able to go out on Roddy Road, right?
Yeah.
Kind of split the logistics up. So that's the point.
Yeah.
We would hope you guys would entertain that, gals, would entertain and support us in that effort.
Okay, Mr. Roberry with a motion, second with Mr. Cullen. Any questions or comments?
Is this, is this the one with the, is there a church or something on it? Is it?
Yes,
All right.
yes, the 5.04 is
what
it
do
was
y'all
a
do-
church.
What are y'all plans for the church? This office, more office space and potentially in the future, is it in good shape still? or no?
Some of it is. We're looking at it. Now, we didn't get to go inside the buildings, but there's a lot of covered area as well. It's kind of hard to see on here, but look, don't concrete anything on this slide. I mean, it was just to show y'all the possibilities, but obviously, we would do an assessment of everything and really get into the planning of all of this. But right now, it's about investment in real estate.
But y'all don't plan on tearing the church down? I was just curious if y'all needed more office
We're
space.
going to look at it first before we do anything and see if we can potentially use some of it.
Because that's a cheap price for that land and,
Yes.
I mean, for a church and whatnot on it. So
It's got
just was curious if it
electricity
was
at
workable.
multiple points of the property,
Yeah.
plumbing, bathrooms at multiple places. There's a lot of potential there.
Especially with the Roddy access. All right, no more questions, comments? All right, be sent to council.
Thank you all.
Thank you, sir. Approval to proceed with the introduction of ordinance to acquire a parcel of that word is kicking my butt. Immovable property being 2 1/100 acres located in section 22-9-3 east of the Mississippi, Ascension Parish, Louisiana, for the price of $150,000 and $0.
Second.
Motion by Mr. Robert, second by Mr. Varnado. Any questions, comments?
Thanks.
Approval of amendment number 1 to master services contract with Inamon Enterprises LLC, doing business as Janie King of Baton Rouge for janitorial services at various locations around the parish. This amendment is to include 2 additional locations. The total amount of the amendment is $43,846 for not to exceed amount of $1.637939 through August 17th, 2025. Now, I got a question.
Yes, sir.
So I was reading this, and that 43,000 is only for 6 months.
Through August 17th, yes, sir.
When does this contract go out for bid again?
It'll go out for bid, I guess, right after that.
August, yeah.
Yeah, because we're just doing an amendment to the original
Yeah.
contract at this point, so yes.
I mean, is it getting close to that, or,
It is.
because that's just high to me for 2 months.
Well, it's also a sizable location. It's the Lamar Dixon Gymnasium, which is over 40,000 square feet, plus our Geismar Community Center. So you're talking about 43,000 square feet of cleaning that needs to
Yeah.
take place. So it is pretty substantial.
That just seemed high. You got a question? Mr. Barnado?
Do you know what the barometer is that they charge by?
Usually it's by the square footage.
Do they charge, if it's conditioned space, square footage more for conditioned space versus, say, a gymnasium? Because I know they're not getting on the roof and scrubbing the roof.
No, and it's all just
You know,
conditioned space.
cobwebs up there, I mean, if you walk
Correct.
in, so I know they're not doing that, so I was
No,
just
all
curious.
they provided was a estimate for the conditioned space, which was the 40,000 square feet. And it's per square footage, and they actually kind of backed off on the price a little bit too, because I already have a contract with them.
The reason I ask is, again, none of that's provided to us, so therefore, admin may have it, but we don't.
Okay.
Anytime I know certainly whenever I have somebody come over and do work at my house, they give me a cost per square foot or
Yes, sir.
linear foot, whatever it is, they give us that metric and we don't have that, so how do we know that we're getting a good deal on stuff like this if we don't know the metric to which they're billing for? Because next time this contract comes up, we don't know if is there, I mean, it ain't gonna go down, I can guarantee you, but is there insurance is it going up because of the insurance they have to carry that we require, those types of things? So that would be my questions, and I'd love to see what, the price per square foot is, to see if that's something that they're, staying competitive with other companies potentially.
Okay, and we can certainly provide that to you. We have a quote for the square footage that they quoted us for. I'm not sure why it didn't make it to the packet itself. But just a reminder, this is for the entire parish, their custodial
No, no,
contract. So I'm not sure what other
No,
square footage
I
they're
totally understand. I
included.
just, you know, we're up here voting on
Yes, sir.
this type of stuff, and this is a lot of money moving in and out of this parish, and we just don't, any kind of contract, and it's not just this one, we don't have a metric by which these folks bill us. And I'm just curious to know what that is to keep folks, you know, contractors honest with their cost. Because in the private sector, they give that, you know, somebody comes over and does work. When I do work for a customer, it's a price per square foot or a percentage of the job. We don't have that. So next time they come up, we have nothing to compare it to, is all I'm saying.
Yes.
You know, nothing anybody did or anything. I'm just
Right.
curious.
So I just want to be clear, the information in the packet, what else you need for us to ask for so that we know, because again, for us, when we go to Janiking and say we're adding the Richard Brown Community Center, for example, in the packet, it shows that they're going to do it 2 times a week. They're going to charge us $783 a month. And then it gives a list of the floors, the general cleaning, the restrooms, what they're going to do every time they clean. I'm not sure what else we need to provide to satisfy what you're asking. So if you could clarify, that would help.
Their price per square foot, what they charge for their buildings and whatnot. You're giving us a base cost based on, you know, I'm going to do it for this price divided by 2. I understand what you're saying, but they have to have some other metric besides, hey, I'll do it for a flat rate. They don't do stuff for flat rates. I'm just guessing.
Yeah, again, I can't answer that because it's hard to state it.
should be able to
I want to
provide
be,
you very
I want
easily
to be
a price per
politically
square foot.
correct here. A professional service, or a service rather, this is a service, that does not go out to bid. We get quotes. And so we judge the quotes against each other and we go with the best price. And if the quote providers aren't providing a price per square foot, we're going on what does a cleaner charge us to clean Richard Brown twice a week, and we went with the best price. So in
So is that
August, when we
whatever-
put this
whatever-
back out to bid, we're going to have a list of all the sites that Janiking has been cleaning, and we'll put that out to all the vendors who service commercial or government contracts, and we'll say, what would you charge us to clean the Richard Brown Community Center, the Lamar Dixon Expo Center, all the facilities that Janiking currently cleans? It's their responsibility to come and walk those buildings. If they want to do the square foot analysis, they do that, but we do it based on the price that they quote based on what we're asking.
Now, if you're getting similar bids from other companies the same way, I reckon it's the same deal, but again, it's still.
They're
just
quotes, not bids.
Quotes, still, if it's just for a flat rate but versus what their square footage is, because, it's just an easier metric for them to be able to give us what we need. It's my 2 cents.
Mr. Robert?
Yeah, I have a couple of cents myself. I have a 63,900 square foot storage building in the middle of Gonzales, and it's filled with storage units, and I pay $3,500 a month to have that cleaned. There's somebody there 4 times a week, not daily. And then niece property, 70,000 square feet. I have somebody on site 7 to 4, 5 days a week, and that's $4,000 a month. Now, I understand that's not people coming out and giving quotes, but I do know there's a lot of room for competition within that price if we have people come give other quotes. Now, my only thing that I want to reiterate coming from Councilman Vornado is the price per square footage. I think it's an important metric if we ask them when we put it out for quote, they're gonna do that. I mean, if they're putting out a bid to clean, they know the price per square foot, or they got it from some type of plant or something, because that's how they price out their labor, and that's how they do their stuff. But I would actually ask for a little bit more than that, because like Lamar Dixon, Jim, you're talking about I mean, I don't know all, but the vast majority is open floors and high ceilings. So maybe the uses, or if they do a different price per square foot, because I don't promise you, I would assume for bathrooms, they would definitely charge a lot more.
Right. There's also a high volume of folks.
And I know
that
you
live
don't
there
get
anyway,
many
so.
quotes from people for something this large, because it's a huge, I mean, I understand it's a huge undertaking. But it would just make it easier for us and for y'all to see what we are getting charged for, because, I mean, that is kind of high. When I'm paying less than that for about 90,000 square feet more. But that's all I have. Thank you.
Did we get a motion and a second? Did we get a motion and a second on that?
I think Oliver's.
Oh, you got a question?
Yeah, Rick,
Two more.
Ricky, how much, or Janet can have? 80% of all the properties we have, or what is the percentage of the building they are maintaining with?
At this point, I have 0 custodians on staff, so it's 100%.
Okay, that's what I need to know. Okay.
Any other questions? Motion or?
Yeah, I'll make a motion.
All right, motion by Mr. Robert, second by Mr. Arsenault. Any questions? Sent to council.
Thank you.
All right, approval of a cooperative endeavor agreement with Kingdom Fitness Recreation to provide recreation to the citizens of Ascension Parish through the use of parish facilities. The association shall compensate the parish 10% of all revenues collected as registration fees for programs utilizing parish property. I got a question.
Yes, sir.
Who is Kingdom Fitness?
They're an organization that offers youth and adult flag football for us, also adult basketball and adult volleyball programs. So they take in the registration, they handle all the coordination with the teams, the coaches, officials, and we contract out with them for a 10% of their program fees.
Do y'all have any idea what that 10% would come to?
It ranges. We've had a contract with them for a year now, and it's been about 2,000. It's a growing program at this point, and we're trying to continue to market it.
Motion by Mr. Arsenault, second by Mr. Barnadoe. Any questions? Oh, sorry.
Is this service provided for the West Bank?
Hopefully at some point, yes.
At the present time, no?
At present time, no.
Okay.
Right
Thank
now, it's at 3 of our locations.
Okay.
As the program grows, we'll potentially expand it to the other side.
Thank you.
Any other more questions? All right, send it to council. Approval of contract with Scott Fence USA LLC for the installation of pipe rail fencing for the Butch Gore Pipe Rail Fencing Project. Total contract amount not to exceed $89,778. Motion, Mr. Blaine, second, Mr. Barnadoe. Any questions or comments? Send to council.
Thank you.
Approval of a cooperative endeavor agreement between Ascension Parish Government and the Louisiana Department of Transportation and Development for the LA 44 and Parker Road, LA 933 roundabout project, and approval for the parish president, Clint Quintmall, to execute the agreement. Motion, Ms. Pam, second, Mr. Todd. Any questions or comments? Sent to council. Approval of cooperative endeavor agreement between Ascension Parish Government and Louisiana Department of Transportation and Development for the LA 73 and LA 429 roundabout project, and approval for Parish President Clint Whitmore to execute the agreement. Motion, Mr. Todd. Second, Ms. Pam. Any questions, comments? Sent to council. Approval of cooperative endeavor agreement between Ascension Parish Government and the Louisiana Department of Transportation and Development for LA 73 at Bluff Road Connector Project, and approval for Parish President Clint Quimall to execute the agreement.
Motion, any question?
Motion, Mr. Todd, second, Mr. Blaine, and we got a question.
Mr. Helms?
Yes, sir.
How are you?
Doing well yourself.
Good, good. Questions on this connector road?
Yes, sir.
Are we all set as far as finality on the project, or are we able to request amendments or a possible look at connectivity between neighborhoods that are in proximity?
So we still have one property that is left outstanding, so until we're into construction, and really even past construction, but until we're into construction, we can entertain different alternatives and ideas.
And I'll go ahead and let the cat out of the bag on that one. Belsavan has great interest in wanting to connect to that road.
Okay.
And that's what I'm getting. Also, the pastor at the Dutchtown Baptist Church, which would be on the north side. So I'll send you what I have as far as what's been requested. We all know the history of Belsavan and how it was supposed to be a through neighborhood and not a one-way in and out. When we get a lot of rain there, they get trapped. They cannot get in or out. So to me, from an emergency standpoint, I'm really concerned about it. I think this may be an option if we can make it happen.
Yeah, we'll look at the logistics of it.
Yeah, so I'll send you what I have, but it would be a great interest to me if we could try to connect Belsavan to that, at least Belsavan to that cross through for, not only for traffic release purposes, but also emergency egress.
Sure.
So I appreciate it, thank you.
Not a problem.
Any other questions or comments? All right, I sent to council. Approval of renewal of legal service contract with Daigle, Feist, and Kessenich for general legal matters. The rate at which an attorney may bill the parish shall not exceed the attorney general rate and shall not exceed $150,000. Motion, Mr. Dennis. Second, Ms. Pam. Any questions or comments? Sent to council. Approval of intergovernmental agreement between Ascension Parish Government and Ascension Parish Coroner's Office for the purchase of a mausoleum for the placement of unclaimed human remains for those who died in the parish in the amount of $4,777.50, plus additional fees per agreement. Motion, Mr. Joe, second, Mr. Blaine. Any questions or comment?
My motion includes the additional fees.
Send to council. Contract report of all contract agreements entered into the month of March. Contract report was emailed to the committee members ahead of the meeting, and that any questions submitted should have been answered before the meeting. If there are any other further questions, they can contact legal or finance. No. All right. Finance report, 6A, budget amendment number 2, approval to amend the 2025 budget.
Good evening. You have before you the ordinance for budget amendment number 2, which reads as follows. An ordinance to amend the ordinance approving, adopting, and appropriating the 2025 operating capital budgets for the parish of Ascension, adopted by the Ascension Parish Council on the 21st day of November, 2024. Section 1, the Ascension Parish Council hereby ordains that the ordinance approving, adopting, and appropriating the 2025 operating and capital budgets for the parish of Ascension is hereby amended, approved, and appropriated as follows. Operating budget, general fund, general administration, acquisitions land, for 12076 Roddy Road property, 2.047 acres, $150,000. Acquisitions land, 42080 Church Point Road property, 5.04 acres, $450,000.
Motion, question, comments? Yeah. Motion, Mr. Blaine, second, Mr. Barnard. Item will be, any questions, comment? Send to council. Review and approval to proceed with the introduction of ordinance, 2025 millage process and ordinance.
So we have presenting to you tonight the 2025 millage review. This is an annual process. If you turn to page 1 of the booklet, we are following section 1, which is adoption of millage rates in a non-reassessment year. Last year was our reassessment year. We will reassess again in 2028. So we will follow, as you see, items A, B, and C. And then if you turn to page 2 and 3, section 5, you will see I've listed all of the taxing districts with their 2025 millage rates, along with the expiration dates of each of the millages. So we're asking to move this forward to the council for introduction.
Motion by Mr. Oliver, second by Ms. Pam. Any questions or comments? Send to council. Monthly report of new positions added to the Ascension Parish Government Classification Plan in the month of March 2025. No new positions added. Financial update, open finance, you can always, the committee that can view the report at the link included in the agenda, and follow up with the finance staff for any questions.
Motion to adjourn. Second.
Motion by Mr. DC, second by Mr. Roberry.